Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Climate change is the most popular issue in the world until today. Lots of people campaign about this issue, but it is often forgotten. Country leaders are always having a meet and talk about this. How can we slow it down? What are the alternatives so we can reduce the risk of the climate change? How do we combat this? What others' commitment we must admit, and the list goes on. My name is Lorca Andrea, and I am the LSPR Communication and Business Institute Jakarta student under the supervision of Mr. Charles Bonar Sirait as my mentor and lecturer. I am here today to talk about an issue that is very important nowadays. It is one of the main points in Sustainable Development Goals, which is climate change. What is exactly climate change? Since the Industrial Revolution, the level of carbon dioxide in our Earth has been increasing. This production of CO2 is mostly caused by human activities, and to support our daily life, we have been burning lots of fossil fuels and oil. We also eat meat, which causes another pollutant called methane. All of these gases are trapped in our atmosphere and somehow catch the heat of the sun and makes our earth more warmer from time to time. And this is what we call the greenhouse effect. Actually, the UN said that it is okay for having 1 or probably 2 degrees warmer since the pre-industrial era until 2100. But what is the real problem is the speed. Humans are rapidly evolving, and also their needs. It must be stopped or slowed down before it becomes a catastrophe. Because right now, we are more likely to hit 1.5 degree warmer in 2030. In fact, the sea levels are increasing at least 3 millimeters a year due to the warmer temperature, and it melts glaciers on polar. This can cause the future generation to probably know the Atlantic based on history and not the present. Besides that, today, the storms are getting more intense with longer periods and more uncertainty, which can cause another chaos, such as billions of people experiencing extreme hunger because we lost our nature and its ecosystem. There is evidence that warm temperature on Earth is making drought and heat waves more frequent, causing heavier rainstorm and more severe flooding. Sooner or later, entire coastal cities could be underwater. Antonio Guterres, the Secretary General of the United Nations, said that natural disasters are becoming more and more intense, more frequent with devastating consequences. All of this is creating a situation that is a real threat to humankind, and we are not doing enough. In September 2020, in Manhattan, there's a clock that counts down the remaining time we have due to these climate change issues. We have less than 7 years to act and to save the future generations. To slow it down, the world leaders signed the Paris Agreement back in 2016 to halt the world's temperature rising by 1.5 degrees or maximum of 2 before the year 2100. They set their own targets on how much CO2 they emit. Sadly, 3 years after the agreement, on an emission gas report in 2019, global CO2 level is still going up. There's also the US, who pulled themselves from the agreement, though they are one of the biggest polluters in the world. So, what can we do now? We need to move from fossil and oil-based fuels to renewable energy. Renewable energy is a source of energy that will always naturally renew and never run out. The most common sources are solar, wind, hydro, geothermal, and biomass. These sources could hold the key to combating climate change because first, it creates no direct greenhouse gas emissions. Second, it decreases pollutant, so it reduces the threat to our health. And third, they are always renewable and never run out. So, renewable energy prices tend to be stable from time to time. And thanks to advances in technology, renewable energies are more accessible, affordable, and efficient. But it also has its downside. Renewable energy cannot generate power on the same large scale as fossil fuels. It could disrupt wildlife, which leads to ecological destruction. And renewable energy can only generate the power when the sun is up or when the wind is blowing. So let us think about it. Hydropower. Hydropower never stops. It will always generate the power from time to time. Because there are three types of hydropower facilities. First is the most common and conventional large-scale impoundment dam. Second, run-of-the-river dam. And third, pump storage facilities. The conventional one is using water upstream in a reservoir and flowing that water downstream to move the turbines and generate the electricity. I think this is the better option to use because unlike the solar and wind who struggle to maintain its sources. Even better, in Indonesia, we are the archipelago state which has more sources of water around us than others. And as for the closing of this video, I hope that my explanations are clear and I will say thank you so much for your attention.